Hello, unlimited friends. Here we are at the start of a new cycle. I am so excited. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all our new members. So, the first thing we're going to do is pre-pave this session. I want you to receive the answers to all your questions as we go through this presentation today. And I want all of us to raise our vibration and get ready for the next 40 days. Okay, so with that, let's get into it. The most important thing is to go through section 1 of the book, which really lays the vibrational foundation for the exercises that we're going to do over the 40 days. And every day when you do the exercises, it is important to read the preamble for the affirmation. So as you go to, for example, let's go to day 8. Day 8 on page 58, the affirmation is, I want to feel my guidance. And then there is one page of text. And what that text does, the purpose of that text is to lay the vibrational framework, the groundwork for instilling that affirmation as a belief. Because you see, if you say an affirmation, but you don't have the supporting belief system under it, then that affirmation is just a bunch of words that has no vibrational meaning. So the reason we have a one page of text is to instill that affirmation as a core belief in your subconscious mind. And the only way that these affirmations become a belief system for you is if you read the text that goes along with them on a daily basis, right? So remember that one of the most important pieces of work that we do on a daily basis is to read the supporting information about each affirmation. That's going to embed that affirmation into your subconscious mind as a core belief. Okay, so now let's go back to section 1 and start from the top. So the purpose of section 1 is to lay the foundation. Everyone needs to be at a certain level in their understanding of how law of attraction works in order to get the results that we want to get. And so the first chapter is about understanding the law of attraction. There are 16 different points in here, very brief. But for each one of these 16 points, you will find a video on my YouTube channel, which will help you to really get the background information on these. The other thing is, if one of these 16 points is not clear to you, all you have to do is to post a question about it on the forum, and I will respond to it. Okay? The other thing is, I will be posting a video every morning in the group. That video also has to do with the affirmation. It can have to do with questions that people are asking in the group. Although for questions that come up in the group, I always respond with a video separately. But sometimes I can combine it with the morning video. The morning video is just a 2-minute thing. It's between 1 and 2 minutes. Sometimes it goes up to maybe the maximum I've ever done is 7 minutes. So I do recommend watching that video if you can in the morning. So I usually post between 8:30 and 9:30. So check the forum for that morning video. So that's between 8:30 and 9:30 EST. Check for that video because it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the day. Okay? All right. So, and what I am doing at the moment is I'm converting this workbook into a video course. Everybody who is already part of the Unlimited group before I launch the course will get automatic access to the course at a very nominal purchase price. And when I say nominal, it is going to be really nominal. So watch out for that. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk to you about is goals. I know, because I was like that when we start this workout, what we have in mind is to improve certain things in our lives that we think need to be improved. And that is the worst thing you can do for yourself, because having a specific outcome in mind is what attachment is all about. So what I want you to do is, even though our goals are important, but I want you to leave those goals out of the equation for these 40 days. Every time your thoughts go towards those specific goals that you have for yourself, I want you to stop and remind yourself, not doing that. That's not going to be helpful. I am just going to focus on being happy. Because you have to understand that the only reason we want the things that we want is because we think that having these things is going to make us happy. But that's counterproductive, because you can't tell the universe things that way, because when you do, what that means is that you're pointed on the absence of those things. And if you are pointed on the absence of things in your life, you cannot bring them about. And that is why it is one of the most important things about doing this 40-day workout is to leave all of that outside and just ask for happiness. So, for example, let's say that one of us is looking for a relationship. Well, every time your thoughts go to that relationship that you're looking for, stop and tell yourself, just going to ask for happiness. I want to be happy whether or not I have a relationship. And then turn your attention firmly away from that thought onto something else. And the easiest way of doing that is to grab the first object that you see. And I see this wiper for my whiteboard. I can just focus my attention on this and say, you know what a useful device. I really love the fact that they combine the cleaner with a holder for pens, right? Because as we notice the things that are already there around us, that is how we shift our attention. And I want you to firmly shift your attention away, completely away from your specific goals, just for 40 days. I promise you that if you shift your attention away for these 40 days, it is a way better way of making things come that you've been wanting. So if you stop thinking about them for 40 days, you will be helping yourself. And that's what this section on goals is all about, is meant to explain that our only goal, and so I'm reading from page 11 in the workbook. This is our only goal, and if you want, you can take a picture of it, or if you already have the Kindle version. By the way, everyone who purchases the paperback version automatically gets the Kindle version for free. So you can carry the Kindle version with you on your cell phone. I wanted it that way, so I set up my Amazon account in a manner that if you have the physical workbook, you get the Kindle version automatically. You can bookmark this on the Kindle version, and this is what I want you to carry in your heart and mind as you go over the 40 days. It is my positive intention to create a shift in my life, because that's what it's all about. It is my positive intention to create a shift in my life that will open new doors and allow my well-being to flow. I want to achieve improvement in all aspects of my life. I want more abundance, more health, more love, more confidence, more joy, more satisfaction, and more peace. Doesn't that cover everything? It does, doesn't it? I want to feel in control of my life. Isn't that what we want? I want to feel good. As I start this journey, I am willing to learn and be open to all good things that are waiting for me. This is all we want over these 40 days. And if we keep this front and center and do not deviate from it, then I promise you that the results that you will get from this 40-day workout will surprise you. They will absolutely surprise you. And I am going to be so happy to hear all your feedback about what you were able to accomplish. All right, so the next chapter, and these are really short one-page chapters, really easy reads. And the next one is the role of gratitude and appreciation. Gratitude and appreciation are so important because really appreciating something without wanting something in return, that is the key to law of attraction. The only thing we want is to appreciate because it feels good, not because we want to make something happen, not because we want to make someone else feel better. None of that. We just want to appreciate because appreciation feels good. Appreciation feels like we are lining up with the universe. When you appreciate something like a tree, something in nature, and I recommend always appreciating things that have nothing to do with your life, because it's so much easier. When we appreciate something that has nothing to do with our life, we are not asking for anything in return. And when we don't ask for anything in return, that is the best form of appreciation. Because if you do something in order to get something in return, that implies attachment to the outcome. And attachment to the outcome always pushes the things that you want away from you. So don't do that. Hang on. All right. The next thing is the role of meditation. So the next chapter is about the role of meditation. As far as I have seen, there are only two keys to using law of attraction properly, and those two are meditation and appreciation. Everything else is a knockoff, is a tool built on one of these two things. So it's either meditation or it is appreciation. Meditation is important. I have a whole book about meditation called Peace Within. If you're interested, you can grab that on Kindle or in paperback. But more importantly, I have a free resource on my YouTube channel. I have a 1 hour meditation class. I don't know if it's 1 hour, but I have a meditation class the way I like to teach meditation on my YouTube channel. So I'm not going to go through this. The only thing I am going to say to you is there is a difference between doing a guided meditation and a silent meditation. And that difference is, in meditation, if you find that space that we call meditation, that space is silent. The reason it is silent is because in that space we are not utilizing any of our five senses. So we are not seeing, we are not hearing, we are not touching, we are not tasting, we are not smelling anything. It is devoid of the five senses. And that is the main difference between a silent meditation and a guided meditation. In a guided meditation, your five senses are still engaged. Unless there's this guided part in front, and when the guided part is over, all you have is some music or white noise, and that's okay because that actually helps you to withdraw your five senses and go into that space that I call meditation. And the other thing I want you to know, which is really important about meditation, is that you never know when you fall into that gap, but you always know when you're coming out. And when you're coming out is when you realize that you were in meditation. Meditation is something that takes practice, as does everything that we are trying to learn here, because all of these things become easier for us because of our practicing it. And what I want to say to you, the thing that makes this 40-day workbook really important is because you can practice something completely incorrectly and you will learn to do it incorrectly for the rest of your life. The whole objective of this workbook is to lay a firm foundation that is based on the actual things that are about law of attraction, that are stable and sure and never changing, so that you can build on top of that firm foundation. Okay? All right, the next chapter is about the role of affirmations. Affirmations are important in the sense that when we affirm something, what we are trying to accomplish is we're trying to take that and make it into our belief. We're trying to incorporate that and replace the older beliefs that we had, because remember, a belief is just a thought. So with these affirmations, what we're trying to do is we're trying to replace our old belief system with a new belief system. But the affirmation on its own is useless unless you change the belief system that comes with it. So it is, like I said in the beginning of this presentation, the important thing about affirmations is to lay that belief system. And so two things: feel the feeling of the possibility that that affirmation is true, and number two, use an affirmation that is so general that it feels believable. So, and it's that believability factor that if you read the daily passage that comes with the affirmation, that's what it's meant to do. It is meant to make that affirmation believable to you, so that your mind, your logical mind, can accept the premise that it is true. Because as long as your mind keeps rejecting it, then it does not feel true. And if it does not feel true, then you're not changing your core belief system. Okay? So remember always to read the passage in the morning. The role of visualization. Now there is a video about visualization again on my YouTube channel. So each one of these chapters is represented on my YouTube channel, and you can go much deeper than this book into these subjects. If you have questions about them, also you can ask me questions in the forum. The role of visualization is not to ask for anything, and that is the key that I want you to know just now. The role of visualization is not to refine your asking. The role of visualization is to make you feel good, because when you feel good, all things that you want come into your life. So if you focus on something or you visualize something that is absent in your life just now, what that does is it activates both sides of the equation. The not having of it, because you notice that it's not there, then you create it in your visualization. The two pull you apart. And that is why I recommend not visualizing any specific event taking place. The only thing you need to visualize is that you are happy, and happy at the end of the 40 days, happy at the end of the year, happy at an indeterminate period of time. Because one of the things that I talk about in the chapter on goals is that when you have a deadline for something, you become more lackful in your vibration, because you're always looking at the deadline, and you're looking at the deadline getting closer and closer and closer and closer. And so that creates a negative vibration instead of creating a positive vibration. So the role of visualization is to make you feel good. And if you just did a visualization where you saw yourself happy, then you've accomplished the job, the role that visualization plays in the creative process. Okay? All right. And then the next chapter is about creating a new belief system, and that is what all of this workbook is about. It is about replacing your current belief system that perhaps has been holding you back in some ways and incorporating new beliefs. Okay, pre-paving. Pre-paving is vibrational goal setting. That's basically what it is. See, we set goals, we set action-oriented goals. We'll do this and then this will happen. But the action goal has to be preceded by a vibrational goal. And pre-paving is the methodology that we use. It is the process that we use in order to lay a firm vibrational foundation for the segments of time in our day. And the most important things to lay that vibrational pre-paving for, or foundation for, is the whole day. That's why we have a morning pre-paving and going to bed, which is why we have a bedtime pre-paving. Pre-paving is not telling the universe or God about what we want. It is just about us getting focused on what we want, so that when we deviate from it, then our mind reminds us that we are deviating. And when you are reminded of that deviation, what you got to do is stop and say, not going there, not doing that. I know better. I know that I'm deviating from what I pre-paved, and so I'm going to return to my pre-paving. I'm going to return to that which is important to me for this segment of time. So when we say, I want to end this day feeling happy and satisfied in our morning pre-paving, and during the day something happens that throws you off balance, doesn't feel good, you have to remind yourself, that's the time that you remind yourself, this is not important enough. I'm going to let my aggravation go because it's throwing me off track from the way I want to end this day. So what is more important? My ending the day feeling satisfied is more important than this thing that's aggravating me. Because if I end my day feeling happy and satisfied, I'm on the right vibrational track, which is going to bring me all the things that I want. So I'm just going to let this go. It's not important enough. So that's what pre-paving does. It helps us to diminish the importance of things that get in the way of our being able to maintain our vibrational balance. And our vibrational balance is the key to getting everything that we want. All right, so that's pre-paving. Deadlines we've already talked about. So when we have a deadline for something, we are actually pointed at the absence of it, which perpetuates the absence of it. But the thing about accepting outcomes, which is the second part of this chapter, is accept where you are. Accept that where you are is okay. And stop fighting it. Stop saying, I shouldn't be here. Accept that where you are is okay. Because when you accept it and you're not pushing back against it in any way, that's when you can make vibrational progress, right? If you keep pushing back, then you're not going to be able to make progress as fast as you can. All right, so there's a video on my YouTube channel about the 6 thinking choices, and that is relevant to this section here. So I'm going to recommend that you go and grab that video. And maybe what I'll do is when I post this, our session today inside our forum, I will reference all the videos that I've talked about today. Okay. So let's move on to playing creation games. Now that is optional and it's additional to the work that we're doing on a daily basis. You don't have to play creation games, but it adds a little bit of fun to what we're doing over the 40 days. Asking for something and then just forgetting about it. Something small, something that is not important to you. Like, I would like to find a dime on the ground today. Not really important, doesn't change my abundance level, but wouldn't it be fun if I did? Because that gives me something to celebrate, and when we celebrate, the universe brings us more to celebrate about, and that's the power of playing creation games. All right, so next is the journey begins here, which is where we launch into our part 2, which is our daily work on page 22. And the most important part of this is taking a check, just doing a quick check on a scale of 1 to 10 on various aspects of our life, because what we want to do is we want to note that, and then we want to come back after 40 days and we want to check in, not during 40 days, but after 40 days are over. We want to check in and congratulate ourselves for feeling just a little bit better. Okay, so that's the purpose of doing a little bit of a check-in. And the other thing is laying the foundation again for the work that we're going to do. So I know that most people come into the workout either to improve their health, they want to lose weight, or they want more money, or they want to manifest a relationship. And that is why this pre-paving for the workout is worded the way it is. The objective is to leave all your goals outside and just focus on feeling good. So it says, my positive intention with this work is to create momentum or movement forward on the subject of whatever it is that you want. And then I hand this task over to the universe. So I'm not going to think about it for the next 40 days. I'm going to hand that over to the universe while I focus just on being happy, a happy person, eager about the future, reminding myself that my job is to be eager about what can happen tomorrow, because the future can always be better than the past. Being happy as a result of this work would be a very satisfying outcome. And that is the core intention here. Being happy as a result of this work would be a really satisfying outcome for these 40 days. All right, so now we are going to launch into how to do the exercises on a daily basis. Well, pre-paving the day is really easy because it's basically like a prayer that is the first thing that you do when you wake up. I have mine on a little card on my bedside table. Sometimes I'm groggy when I'm waking up and I forget all the words. I just grab my card because I've known to understand that the best time to do this pre-paving is while you are waking up in the morning, in that phase where you have not picked up on your thoughts from prior days. Okay, so there's a video about that as well on my channel, and it's called The Window for Manifesting. I think if you want to grab it, I will reference that also in the group. Okay, so remember to do this pre-paving as early as you can. The next I do this pre-paving again is when I'm in my kitchen because I have it stuck on my fridge. And then I do it again in my car on my way to work because over the years, I've been doing this for a very long time, and over the years that's become a habit. So as soon as I enter my car in the morning, I do this pre-paving. And any other time during the day that you want to. But you can also pre-pave specific segments of your day. So if you're going to have an interaction, you can pre-pave that interaction. If you're going to eat your food, you can pre-pave eating your food. And when you do that, your experience becomes more satisfying. Meditation, just for 15 or 20 minutes a day. No more than that is needed. But if you're not used to doing it, then just doing it for 2 or 3 minutes is sufficient. You don't really need to start with 15 minutes. Start just with breathing exercises, because meditation helps us to notice when our thoughts are deviating from what we have decided we want to think about. That is what we learn through meditation. We learn mindfulness. Mindfulness means I've decided I'm going to focus here. So if my thoughts deviate, I'm going to remind myself to come back to what I decided I was going to focus on. That's what meditation is all about. So starting small and building it up to 20 minutes would be fantastic. Keeping meditation up, the practice up, is really good because like any other muscle, if you stop going to the gym, then those muscles that you were, or the exercises, stretches that you were doing at home, doesn't matter if you go to the gym or not, but if you don't use a muscle, it loses its maximum strength. So the reason we want to keep meditation up is because we want that muscle to keep going. 5 things I appreciate today. All right, folks, this is really important. It can be any 5 things. Any 5 things that have to do with you, or maybe it has to do with nature. It doesn't matter if you repeat the same things every day. The most important thing about these 5 things is how it makes you feel. That is the only important thing. You want these 5 things to make you feel good. And if you do this right after your pre-paving, then you magnify the impact of it. So I would try and get my 5 things to appreciate done as soon as I do my pre-paving, which is how I do it. My meditation, I don't get to my meditation until in the afternoon because I typically do my meditation when I have my lunch, and I usually get away from my surroundings because my surroundings are busy, and I go into my car because that's where I have the maximum amount of privacy. Okay, so that's how I personally do it, but you can fit it into your life however you want to fit it in. The main thing is getting it done. It's not so much about the timing of it, it is about doing it. All right. So the things to remember about the 5 things I appreciate is, yes, you can repeat them. Always say the words I love and appreciate. The reason is because when you say those words act like a switch, so that you can feel that love and appreciation in your heart or in your belly, wherever it is that you have your feeling place in your body. Okay. Next, 3 things I want to achieve today. Now, I make these things that I was going to do anyway. For example, if I had an appointment with someone, 3 things I want to achieve today includes that appointment. It's simple little things that are my part of the day, because what I want to do is at the end of the day, I want to congratulate myself for having done those 3 things that I promised myself I was going to do. That's all there is to it. Okay? So keep it simple. Keep it simple. Doesn't have to be complicated. And don't make it about your big goals. And don't put those big goals as part of this on a daily basis. Because if you put your big goals as part of this list, then you are visiting the lack of things rather than the having of things. Then the next section, which is really, really important, is 3 things I want the universe to achieve for me today or later. That's the important thing to remember. Today or later. I'm going to ask today. It may not happen today. That's fine. I'm okay with that. And generally speaking, what I do is the 3 things I want the universe to help me with are usually the 3 things that I put on my list of things to do. Because I ask the universe to help me with things that I'm already supposed to do. That is the easiest way for me to do this section. And that is something that I want to recommend to you as well. 3 things I want the universe to help me with should ideally not be repeated every day. Universe, I want to win the lottery. And then the next day, universe, I want to win the lottery. And then the next day, universe, I want to win the lottery. You are pushing your lottery winning further away because you are focusing on the absence of something. And you're doing it again and again and again daily. So don't do it. That's not what this section is all about. Okay? When you hand something over to the universe, it is your job to stop thinking about it. But if you ask for it again and again, then you're not stopping thinking about it. So it's contrary to what we want to accomplish in this section. And like I said, the easiest way of doing this is to just combine asking the universe for help on something that you were already going to do. And if you're going to ask for something that you really want the universe to help you with, add the words, wouldn't it be nice if? So I have on my list of things to do today, what I want to accomplish, have a fantastic meeting with a client that I'm meeting. Well, what I would like the universe to help me with today is help me accomplish ease and flow in that appointment. Help me say the right things in that appointment. Guide me to say the right things in that appointment. Wouldn't it be nice, universe, if I could end that appointment that I have today, adding value to myself as well as the other person? That's the best way to use this section. Okay, I hope you found that useful. Blessings. The section on blessings overlaps with the appreciation section. And that is because mostly we forget to appreciate the things that we already have. So that is why the section on blessings is meant to remind us that wherever we stand today, there are things in our life that we can appreciate about where we live, about what we eat, about what we do, the work that we do, the money that's already coming in. There are people around us that we forget to appreciate them on a daily basis. I have a brother who lives overseas, so I love this person I think about. Okay? Very good. All right, so then moving on, then you do your visualization. You can do your visualization at any point in time in the day, doesn't matter. Usually I do my visualization at night when I'm going to bed because during the day I don't have clear space. Sometimes I'll do it after my meditation. That is also a good time to do it. But really you can do it at any point in time. And again, the important thing is to keep it general. Really, really general. My thoughts at the end of this day are supposed to be to remind me about all the good things that happened during the day. Sometimes we manifest little things and we forget to appreciate that we manifested them. So if we record them, then that is really, really fun also to go back and revisit at the end of the year, right? Bedtime pre-paving helps us to turn our head off when we go to sleep so that we can get the maximum benefit out of our sleep. Now, I go to bed, as soon as I put my head on the pillow, I am gone. And it wasn't always like that. One of the reasons it is like that is because I've been doing this pre-paving for many, many years. Okay? So sometimes I am asleep before I finish saying the pre-paving. I have no memory usually that I actually finish saying the pre-paving. On days when I want to make sure, because I've had a really, I've had a day that was really, really busy. I will sit at the edge of my bed and read the bedtime pre-paving, because I know that if I put my head down, I won't be able to finish it. Okay, so do whichever way works for you. And lastly, if you miss on doing one of the exercises, don't beat up on yourself. It doesn't matter. The whole purpose of this is to make this part of your lifestyle. Yes, you will get dividends from doing all of it, but if you miss on something and you can't do it, or you can't do the workout at all, maybe for 1 or 2 days, maybe because you're traveling, maybe because something has happened in your life, it does not matter. Because the important thing is to congratulate yourself when you do it, rather than beat up on yourself for not doing it. And that's the most important thing. I miss out sometimes. Things are happening in my life, right? I miss out. And the other thing is, from years of doing this on a daily basis, on days when I'm really, really busy, I pick and choose those exercises that are easy for me to fit in. So maybe there's a day when I can't do my meditation because I'm in the airplane traveling or whatever. Actually, the airplane is a good place to meditate. But what I want to say to you is, when I can't meditate, I know I can still pre-pave. I can pre-pave waking up. I can pre-pave going to bed. Blessings are easy to do. I can do them at any point in time in the day. Visualization takes less than 60 seconds, right? So a lot of these things, when you have a habit of doing them, your mind will remind you if you skip. And when your mind reminds you, do it. Just take 60 seconds to do a little bit. Because the most important thing about all of this is congratulating yourself at the end of the day that you kept your promise to who? To you. All right. So that's pretty much it. That is how we do the 40-day workout, and we do it over and over and over again. And we have fun doing it. And I want to let you guys know, if you've bought the workbook once, you do not need to buy it again and again, because guess what? The workbook pages are available under the files tab in the forum. So if you are in the forum, you can always find it there. Okay? All right. Questions? If you have a question, okay, hang on. Somebody's in the chat, so let me go there. Yeah, Sumbul. Yes. But pre-paving is the one thing that if you can make it into a regular thing for yourself, oh my God, the dividends are just amazing. On days when I do nothing else, I always do my pre-paving, right? Pre-paving is so, so important. Pre-paving is more important than meditation. Pre-paving is more important than anything else. The only other thing that is as important as pre-paving is remembering to appreciate where you are and whatever is going on around you. Okay. All right. So the floor is open for questions at this point in time. All you have to do is go to the bottom left-hand corner of the screen and open your mic and speak. Jump in if you have a question. And if we don't have a question, then we can. Yes, Teresa, I will look forward to catching up with you. In fact, I was thinking about that as well. Bye for now. All right, so if you guys have questions, ask your question, because I would love to look after all of that. And if not, we can call this meeting to an end. You can type your question out in the chat box, or you can open your mic and talk to me. Anyone want to chat with me today? Kelly, want to chat? No? Sumbul, you have a question for me? Fantastic, Kelly. Sumbul? Haven't chatted with you for a long time, Sumbul. Do you have a question? Yes, no? Sumbul is away. Okay, fantastic. Love you all. So excited about starting tomorrow. And we're going to have the best 40 days right at the start of the year. And you know what that does? It sets the tone for the whole year. This year is going to be absolutely amazing for all of us. We are going to keep our vibration high. And because we are all in the same forum, when we share our successes, it helps elevates everyone's vibration. So I'm going to say visit the forum and stay present in order to get the maximum benefit out of this workout. Love you all. Okay, so Sumbul, I wanted to know that there's a lot of talk going on about emotions being stored in our bodies. How can we tap into that? No, you don't. Sumbul, don't tap into that. Emotions are stored, yes, and I have done a couple of videos about it recently on my YouTube channel, and it's something that I've always taught, that the first place your thoughts get stored is in your body. And as you appreciate, appreciation is the key, because when you appreciate, your body has the ability to heal all of that, provided you raise your vibration. Everything is about going up the emotional scale. That's all we ever need to do. All of that stored emotion, it melts away when you raise your vibration. Because when you raise your vibration, your body starts working at its optimal level. And that's all you need. And the longer you stay here, then the more opportunity you give your body to heal itself. Because the body does not need our help provided we get our thoughts in the way. But if a problem has already started and a solution is available, maybe it's a naturopathic solution, maybe it's an allopathic solution, doesn't matter. Because remember, all solutions come from source. So if a solution is available, use it. Because when you are able to alleviate a physical problem, you go up the emotional scale, because the thing that grabs our attention most of all is if something is happening in our physical body. That's why I say in meditation, if you need to scratch your nose, do it, because otherwise your nose will keep wanting your attention. So we have to attend to our physical body if it needs our attention, and do it as fast as possible, because it prevents us from raising our vibration. So I don't understand people who go around with a headache and refuse to take medication for it. I don't understand that. Because if you have a headache, you are spewing out negative energy as long as you have that headache. Why would you do that to yourself? There's no reason why you should do that to yourself. I mean, and I say that, and I've said that on so many occasions. So I wear glasses and I'm a law of attraction teacher. That means I should sit home and try and fix my eyes by doing vibrational work? No, I'm not going to do that. There's a solution, source sent it to me, it's easy. Fixing my vibration is a very slow process. It takes time. This is fast. It helps me see right away. Why would I not take a solution that source has brought to me? Why would I not do that? Doesn't mean I'm not going to do the vibrational work, but it means I'm going to take the solution that I have access to right away, as well as do the vibrational work. And if you see the video I posted earlier this morning, I have a fun story about that in it. Somatic therapy and breath work has come as solutions to me. They're really helping me. Yeah, exactly. I mean, what does that do? Breath work takes your mind off your own life, which is what I always recommend that you do. It doesn't matter what way you find to do that, but basically that's what it is all about. All these techniques are helping us in many different ways to take our mind off the problem. So go for it. Absolutely. Whatever helps you. Use whatever tool comes your way, because that's the tool that you're ready for at that point in time in your life. And then other things will show up. Soon as you raise your vibration, see, the realm of possibilities is unlimited. But you only have access to those possibilities that correspond to your vibration. If you want more possibilities that are amazing, you got to raise your vibration first and do it in any way. Tap if you need to, meditate if that helps, or do this breath work if that helps you. Who cares? The objective is going up the emotional scale. All right? Fantastic. Yes, my dear. So many people are trying to help, and all of it is good. Thank you all for joining me. I am so excited. I'm going to see you bright and early tomorrow morning, and we are going to have so much fun. Love you all. Let's get started. Bye for now.